Hey everyone, today's video will be very special and different. Today I will be interviewing and having a dialogue with the founder of Gainium platform. Aris is a community member and a virtual friend. It's the first time we're doing a session that we record, although we've been talking together for several years already. And it's the first time I'm doing this kind of a recorded dialogue with a community member. So bear with us as you watch and hopefully enjoy this session. And the very first question that I actually asked Aris got cut off. It did not get recorded. So as you continue listening to this, there is a bit of a gap in our recording, but then it improves. And the very first question I asked Aris to introduce himself and Gainium and tell a little bit about his journey, what really made him create this platform. So without further ado, here's the remaining interview.
Using the tools, the platforms, but and that's also the reason why I started Gainium is because there is really not they don't really hear user feedback. I mean, there were a lot of people, me included, that were suggesting features, and we wanted to do trading our own way, and
Yes.
then these platforms they weren't listening to us, and for me that was really frustrating.
Yeah.
Then I got my health issue. I lost a lot of money, and that really pushed me to really do it. But I don't know if that's relevant. So
Look,
maybe we'll just
I'm
skip it.
recording this, and I think this is relevant, but like we don't need to expand on that. And I think like you're getting exactly to the point, right? Because I've had several platforms that I interact with, 3 commas mainly, Miser, I'm starting to do more interaction with, and I did a few others just to see how not just the platform functions, but also how the team behind the platform functions, because there are issues sometimes. And even with 3 commas, it's not a secret. 3 commas had issues. Some of them were public, very well-known issues, and some of them that affected just a smaller number of users, including myself, and making me lose money actually. But as long as we kind of able to understand each other, sort it out, move forward, this is all okay. So what you're saying now, this is a huge point. The fact that this bi-directional communication between you as a user and the platform, that's how both of you continue to grow and profit. And I think, and that's why I have your Discord here open, because
Yeah,
so let's talk about that, because you have these bug reports and there is tons of bugs, but there is also the feature request, and there is also many requests and features that you're responding to.
yeah, exactly. So really, the main the Gainium's main asset is really the community. We rely on the community to improve the product and also to learn from one another. And so we have different channels where users can post their future requests, and we really listen to each one of them. And I personally reply to each one of them and evaluate each feature request. And so you can see that users can post, and then we recently introduced the ability to vote. So if you see those icons, now people can vote on features, and we are prioritizing based on what the community wants next. So the more people vote on a feature, the more likely that's going to come to the top of the list of the things we're going to do next.
Yeah. So this was the fact that, just to come back to this first question, the fact that you wanted to have a closer cooperation with the platform, or more flexibility to influence the features or how the platform functions for you, performs for you, is what actually made you create your own tool, right?
Exactly. So you could say that our unique value proposition is that we believe that the community is really our biggest asset. So we really rely on the community to drive the product forward. depending on what features the users want to see next. And we also rely on the community to learn from one another. So this is something that it has to be, I believe that the community has to be integrated with the platform. It should not be like a separate thing with, so many other platforms, you sign up to whatever, bot platform or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
then you have your community where you go and learn and ask questions and so on. I believe that it should be the same place because trading is not a solo sport. Trading is a team effort. So I saw the opportunity where I think the trading platform has to take more into consideration the community. I integrate it more within the platform.
Yes. Yeah. Well, to me, trading, and that's a good discussion as well. What is trading to you? And to me, trading is really about personal growth because you are learning methodology, you're learning the tools, but you also learn about yourself. So it's this continuous improvement. It's not at all a place where you think, all right, I'm gonna press a button, on some bot or some strategy, and it's gonna make me money. And obviously, when you learn, it's really helpful to have people around you to exchange ideas or to learn from.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, we are learning from one another, whether you are in a group with other traders or you're searching for YouTube videos or articles. We're it's trading is it's all about learning, becoming a better trader. It's learning from other people.
How do you engage people in your community? Do people in your Discord, they're just coming there, from the website, or you doing any kind of promotions or any other way you pulling in people?
So they come from the website mainly. I
Hmm.
haven't actively done promotions or
Hmm.
advertising at all. It's been mainly word of mouth so far. But we are still a small community, and I think that's kind of a feature, not a problem, because the us being small means that we can move faster and we can
Hmm.
implement things faster. But eventually, we plan to engage more users and grow the community, of course. For now, it's all word of mouth, and people who find us through the website, they will have the link to our Discord, and they come and ask questions there.
For a small community, the tool itself is not at all small. If I just look at the features on this, splash page, and we're not logging in yet. I think we definitely will, either on this session or a next follow-up session. But there's a lot of features, and as you say, you're asking users to, give you maybe a bit of a priority of what they consider is important. But this platform, to me, appears to be basically all in one.
Well, that's another of our, I would say, another value proposition of Gainium is that we're trying to make everything contained within a single platform, so that you don't have to, pay for other tools
Mhm.
to do your trading. So we have integrated the the bots. There is also the smart trading terminal. We have portfolio tracking features. We have also a market screener.
Mhm.
There is a news and sentiment analysis as well. I don't have it there on the futures, but we have that as well. So it's a place where you can come to really explore how the market is, get a feeling for the market with the screener and the news analysis, and
Mhm.
then test and refine your strategies with the paper trading and the back testing and then the different kinds of bots.
Yeah. It hasn't been a year yet, right? Since you started to work on platform, or has it been already a year?
It, it's been around a year now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's been around a year.
How,
So
how do you
it's
see the
been around a
future?
year. Sorry, it's been around a year that it's been opened for registration. So
Okay.
we actually started coding it a little bit before,
Okay.
but we opened really early because we wanted to gather feedback as soon as possible. And so when it was open a year ago, it was very basic. It was only the grid bot, which was the first tool we released, and there wasn't really much functionality there. I mean, it was very basic, but we started to slowly
Yeah.
get some users because we provided it for free. In fact, it's still free,
Nice.
and so this early feedback allowed us to get more close to the user and start gathering feature requests and start implementing them. So that was really the plan. But at the beginning, it was really basic. And now we've grown into a platform that is, I would say, quite holistic. It has a lot of features already.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you say basic, but I tried your platform about a year ago. And at that time already, the grid bots that you had were fairly sophisticated. You had a lot of very unique features. For example, as I recall, on the grid bot, you could have multiple grid bots on the same pair. And that's not many platforms allow that actually.
Yeah, we early on I tried to incorporate some of the features that I was asking other platforms. They never really hear me out. So I thought that I would start with those smaller features into my app or into my own platform, and then but we still needed to build the basics, right? Build
Of
the
course.
DCA bot and the webhook functionality
Yeah.
and the backtester and all that. And now that we've covered all the basics, now that's when we can start exploring other things that they exist only in my imagination, and then not you can see those features somewhere else. So, for example, the combo bot, we can talk about that if you want,
Okay.
and some other ideas that I had that I hope they will materialize soon.
Well, yeah. I definitely we need to show a little bit. Oh, you had something about taxes there as well. I think we need to show something of unique features, but let's do just a little bit more of a general introduction because I think speaking general, it's still very interesting before we dive into particular features or functions. And I just wanted to point out because you mentioned word basics a few times, but these things, they're like the base. They're not at all basics because again, you had some as far as I saw, you had some features that were not at all basic, some features that others were not offering. But just to come back, so it's been a year. It's quite a journey. The tool is still free, right?
Yeah.
What is the roadmap for the future?
The roadmap. Well, in the roadmap, first of all, okay, wait. You cut me off guard there.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough part, but it doesn't need to be, I'm not like asking for milestone. I'm just maybe speaking about the vision. Or maybe it doesn't need to have like a vision. Maybe the vision is just to have a tool that's reliable, that's secure, and that helps people to
Okay,
make
okay.
money.
Okay. I understand. No, I thought you meant what features are gonna come in next.
Not
So
specifically, but more like
roadmap,
a vision.
like the vision. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I mean, in the roadmap, in our vision, I see Gainium as a platform where the community is really integrated with the platform itself, right? So, in terms of features, I would say you will see more features that really encourage users to share with one another and to learn from one another. So, for example, there could be things like give rewards for sharing backtesting with good results. There could be rewards for sharing knowledge about crypto trading and so on. So it's in the community gets rewarded for helping the community. That would be the ultimate vision that I have for the platform.
Okay, so you are coming back to community being kind of the central pillar of this whole ecosystem of the platform, but also how the platform works.
Exactly. Yes.
That's very interesting. You've had this recently MAA session. How did that go? Was there anything you learned from that, or that was the
Yeah.
first time, right?
Yeah, sure. So that was my first time doing AMA or any kind of webinar.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it was very interesting because I get a chance to really talk in real time to users, and to get some of the questions that sometimes users don't want to post or whatever. And sometimes they think they have a stupid question, but it's really not. So it's really important for me to answer those questions, to talk to the user in real time, and to give a walkthrough of the answer. Because sometimes, for example, in this particular session, because it was done right after we released the combo bot,
Okay.
I realized that there were a lot of questions about how the combo bot works.
Yeah.
And I've put some some articles, some graphs and whatnot, and in my mind it's clear. It's like, okay, I guess the user should know, but then I realize on these sessions that it's really not that clear. That it may be clear for me, but the user need a little bit more guidance and a
Uh-huh.
little bit more visual aid. So it helps to share my screen, to go to the bot page to explain, okay, this is what it will do if the price comes here and it hits this order, and this is what how the settings work. It's a lot more interactive, and I think it's a great learning opportunity for the community and for myself.
Yeah, so you've done this MAA. Now we're doing this interview, and you're getting more comfortable. Neither of us are doing the camera because I think we are both introverts by nature. But
Yeah,
but you're building a bit of a confidence to speak and present your platform, and that's great. And I think the combo bot could be a very nice feature maybe to present if you'd like to show your screen and navigate a little bit in the inside of Gainium and show us the combo bot, and that could be something we leave our visitors and viewers with. And if they like to see more, they can leave us a comment, and we do another session with you.
sure, sure. Sounds
So let
good.
me stop sharing my screen, and you do yours.
Okay. Uh, all right. Okay. Do you
Yes,
see my screen?
yes, it loaded.
Okay, great. So let's take a look at the combo bot, which is one of the things that may be more new for some people they may have not seen. So this combo bot is an idea that actually came from the community, and the the premise behind the combo bot is trying to get the best of DCA and the best of grid trading in the
Hmm.
same bot.
Okay.
And how will this work? Well, let's start for what is the best thing about grid trading. Okay, so in my opinion, the best thing about the grids is that they are uh, quite hands off. I mean, you
Hmm.
don't really care if the price goes up or it goes down, as long as it's within your grid range. Okay,
Right.
as long as it's in that range, the bot will continue to make profit slowly but surely. It will be making profit over time. So that for me, it's a killer feature of the grid bot. I love that. But one problem though is that when you start the grid bot, you have to buy all the base right at the start, and that is a bit risky because if you start the bot at the wrong time before the price goes down, then that grid bot is going to be holding like what we call a red bag.
Hmm.
Basically, your investment it's on red. So a lot of people like grid trading, but they get a little bit put off by this idea that they have to make this big purchase when they start. And you're Hopefully you've done it at the right time, but if it's not, then that's a big investment that you have to now you have underwater, and it may take a while to
Yeah,
recover because the grid bot produces profit, sure, but it does that a little bit slowly, right?
sure.
And so that's a grid bot. Now the DCA bot, it's a completely different beast. We've played with DCA bots for a long time, and we know it has a good flexibility in the sense that when the bot starts, that's not all your investment there at one
Right.
go, right? The bot is going to split your investment, is going to buy at better when the price drops at better prices, is going to average down your entry price so that you can reach profit sooner. So the DCA bot is really great for that, to average down your enterprise. But the problem of the grid bot is that if the price goes down and it stays down for a while, it won't be able to close that deal because the DCA bot needs a certain price to reach the take profit.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, what if we combine the ability to generate profits over time, as long as the price is within the range, without having to achieve a certain price to sell everything, but still keep the DCA ability of the DCA bot, where we're not gonna buy everything at the start of the bot. We're gonna wait for better prices.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the combo bot does. Essentially, it's a grid trading, and we can see here on the graph.
Yeah, that's very visual. That's nice.
It's a grid trading. So, for example, if we start here, this is a start order.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna place what we call a mini grid app. So it's gonna place only sell orders, and I explain in a bit why. It's gonna create these mini grids of sell orders, and it's gonna buy just enough to trade this range. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if the price goes up and starts trading in the range, then you will be generating profit, just like the grid bot will do. However, if the price goes down, instead of having all grid buy like a grid bot will have here, mm-hmm. what we're going to have is DCA orders that they're going to expand the grid when the order is filled. So say that we start trading here and then we're generating profit. Now the price goes under this area and starts trading below here. Now we might be at a loss, right? Because we started here.
Yeah.
This was the initial order.
For that position. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, for this position. So now if the price comes here, then this DCA order will create another grid from here to here. Mm-hmm. Another, what we call another mini grid.
Yeah.
And these mini grids, they can be configured here. How many here? So the order step controls how much you're spacing the mini grid from top to bottom, and the mini grid levels, it's controlling. Now we can do that. How many grid orders do you want in between the mini grid?
Right.
So that's what happens when you combine the two. That you're splitting your investment on DCA orders and you're building your grid sequentially as the price gets a better entry point. So you're averaging your initial investment just like you do with a DCA order, and you're also generating profit along the way. So the combo bot doesn't require the price to come up of a certain level. It can, for example, say that it comes down here and it stays here for a long time. Then this profit generated might be enough for you to close the deal at some point. Say if you have, if you put a take profit and the take profit of 5%, you may generate 5% profit just by generating, just by generating profit from the grid. You don't need to come up a certain price. The DCA bot needs a certain price to close, because you're selling everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
The combo bot doesn't need that because it's generating profit, and that profit counts towards the profit that you're generating for the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have 5% profit on the total deal volume, then that deal can be closed.
You can close it if you want. Yeah. Now this is really smart because that's what usually happens with crypto, that you have ranges and the price stays within a certain range for a while and then it goes to a different range.
Exactly. So this is a way to leverage both the DCA capabilities, so you can uh, uh, average down your entry price and you can buy at better prices, and also leverage the grid trading where you can generate profit over time. Even if you are in the lower ranges, you can close the deal.
I like this quite a lot, and I also like this because I assume you could define, for example, multiple ranges. Let's say you see maybe 3 or 4 ranges, you use support and resistance maybe to guide yourself. And as you have this, for example, these 5 mini grids, you could split your capital between these 5 mini grids, and hence you know that your capital is properly split, so you're managing your risks, and it would be employed when the price goes to a certain range.
Exactly, exactly. So I would like to clarify though, there is no silver bullet for trading. The
Mm.
combo bot has strength and it has weaknesses. So for example, if the market is trading up and you are in a bull market,
Yeah.
then you have the same problem with as the DCA will have, which is you only employing a percentage of your capital on the start, and then you're counting on of the price going down to buy more. But if that doesn't happen and the price goes up, then the combo bot might not be as efficient as a normal grid where you will have bought everything at the start and then it's selling on the way up. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like the magic bullet, but it's one more trading tool that you can use, and especially if you're someone who likes to mitigate risk, the
Mm-hmm.
combo bot is the I would say the bot that will allow you to mitigate risk the most, because it's using grid trading, it's using DCA risk mitigation where you're not investing everything at the start.
Mm-hmm. This is great. I haven't seen this before, so you explained this clearly enough. I understood. Thank you very much for this. I'm really looking forward to actually trying this as well. I'll give it a try. I suppose now you are doing only spot, right, for this type of a strategy.
No, actually, you can do spot, and you can do futures.
Even on futures.
So yeah,
Okay.
we implemented futures a couple of months back, and that we try to, for every tool we release, to have it available both for spot and futures, and you can also backtest it and paper trade it.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Backtest it as well. Could we try that now just to see how the backtester would look like?
yeah, sure. Let me see, because so this is let's try on Ethereum
Yeah, something more
USDT.
volatile. Yeah, maybe because the Ethereum
Oh,
and
okay.
Bitcoin,
All
yeah, they've
right.
been horribly flat lately.
Okay, maybe Doge.
Yeah, for example. Yeah, let's do a back test and wrap up this session, because I think this is it's perfect kind of starter for someone who may have not seen the platform, and I think they would get interested to try it and also join your community. And
Yeah,
then
right.
we could do another session if you will have time to maybe look at some other features.
Sure. So, okay. So, the way I would do it is I will always zoom out a little bit the graph
Of
and
course.
see more or less what kind of deviation we might be expecting to have
Hmm.
for the bot. So this is just like a normal DCA. You will want to get a feel for how deep it can go. So this one, say if we want to cover something like this range, we might be fine with maybe 4
Okay.
DCA orders, and then uh, I'll say that's around okay. Maybe we'll put 5 here.
Yeah, hopefully
Yeah,
we'll not revisit these lows that we saw in June.
Yeah, hopefully not. We're gonna have one open deal. We're going to okay. So the DCA order amount. Let's just I don't know. Let's put $100 here. So the bot is gonna tell you it's covering a 26% deviation,
Okay.
and then we have a $500 total investment.
Okay.
Now it's telling me that I don't have much available here in this KuCoin exchange,
Yeah.
but that's fine. We can backtest,
Right.
and so we can do under 5 minutes, and then if we leave it auto, it's gonna take the last I think 10,000 bars or something. Though it comes to
That's enough. Yeah.
34 days, but we can also create periods here for as long
Okay.
as we want. And then I think in Binance you can test on 1 minute, like the whole, last year or something. They
Hmm.
give you a lot of data. Now with KuCoin, I didn't realize it's KuCoin selected, but they're a little bit slow in providing data, so this might take a little bit to load.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, you're going to actual exchange, so I like that as well because that's going to be some real data.
Yeah. And so I think something that's also quite useful for the combo bot is that it shares a lot with the it's ready. It shares a lot with the DCA bot where you can start the deal
Hmm.
with ASAP. You can use webhooks or technical indicators. So with
Okay.
this, you can actually start the grid with technical indicators, which is something the community has been asking for a while, and it's something
Uh-huh.
that I also wanted to try for a while. So now we have the options to do that.
Yeah, it makes sense as
So
well. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, so we have here some results. It's only the past month, so there is not a lot, but
Yeah,
there is a 6%, and
this
you
is
have the
good.
average, you have the daily profit, how much, and
Yeah.
then the gross profit. So the gross profit is the actual realized profit,
Uh-huh.
and while you have also here open P&L. So
Hmm.
for
Nice.
example, when you do a back test, or specifically when you're in other platforms, sometimes they tell you, oh, this bot, it did 10% per month. Great. But what you might not know is that it has maybe two open deals that are minus
Yes,
50%.
exactly.
And
I've seen that.
that's a
Yeah.
bit misleading.
Hmm.
So we try to provide as much information as possible. You know the open P&L of anything that the bot still hasn't closed yet. So you can look at the gross profit and also whatever deal that may be looming there with a red bag.
Yeah.
And
And
so you
again, this
have
is this is spot, right? This is no leverage, right?
exactly, this is spot.
Yeah.
For leverage, we also emulate the liquidation events, and we give
Okay.
a little bit of information about where the liquidation happened and what leverage you may be able to use for that trading range so that you don't get liquidated. So that's something that we can jump on a call if you want another time.
This is
And
very impressive.
we have also some DCA information about so what the
You
bot
see usage.
actually
Okay.
used versus what the theoretical max usage was. And this is important because you don't want to have a bot that it has too many DCA orders that it never uses over a long period of time,
Right.
because this influences the daily profit, because the profit percentage is based on what the bot will use as the total, as
Hmm.
maximum, right? So if you have many DCAs that are never used, you may see a low profitability per day because you have a lot of money that is parked in your account that is never used. So this section can help you optimize the profitability of the money that you're putting at work, if that makes sense.
Right, because you're back testing a strategy and that gives you an idea how much money you potentially need.
Yeah. And so you can click on a deal,
Okay.
and so this is the deal list, and you have the mini deal, mini grid list. So, for example, if we look into this one, if you select it, then it's gonna bring you up to the. Sorry, it's gonna bring you to the.
Hmm.
And sorry, because I'm using the daily time frame there, so everything looks. So this is an open
Yeah,
deal,
this is clearer
and
now. Uh-huh.
This one, okay. So this one you see where the bot actually buys and sell,
Mm-hmm.
and you can actually also even
Oh, wow.
activate this. That is going to tell you where not only where the bot bought and sold, but also where the bot was having orders and
Mm-hmm.
how those orders might change over time. So you see, once you hit a sell order here, the bot immediately places a buy order underneath, and you can
Yeah.
see how that works in historically how that where the order lines will have been for take profit and
So
for buy
so
orders
let's
as
use
well.
this strategy and now really to wrap up. But before we do wrap up, so let's use the strategy, these results, and tell me how you would adjust this particular settings to bring up your ROI trading the same pair.
Yes. So given that the DCA usage, the actual that the bot use was around 40%, I
Mm-hmm.
will reduce the amount of DCA orders
Mm-hmm.
that we've using. So bring it down. So it says that there was okay, yeah. So maybe if we use two, it's probably improved. There might be also a way to improve this instead of using ASAP, perhaps with a technical indicator. We could start
Mm-hmm.
the deal maybe when the RSI crosses 70, for example. That
Okay.
may give you a better entry. So it depends. You know, some bots perform better when you have a good time entry. Some others might do better for that specific time period if you're ASAP. So yeah, those are two ways where you can optimize, and you can also get some ideas from the presets section.
Mm-hmm.
So we already perform backtests continuously.
Yes. Nice.
We have a backtest engine that is testing ASAP and technical indicators combinations
Okay.
for many different kind of tokens and combinations. So from here, you can get some inspiration. Doesn't mean that you need to copy exactly the same one,
Mm-hmm.
but on each one they will show you the backtest result just as if you did it. And from this section, you can load the settings and quickly get something that you can start to optimize according to your risk profile.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. What is the technical indicator on this one?
So this one is using ADX,
Okay.
interestingly. Hmm.
Okay. Wow, that's fascinating. Look, I think we really need to stop now just to keep the attention span of the viewers. But if people like this kinds of stuff, they need to leave a comment on the video, obviously a like as well, and we do more of this. What do you say?
Yeah, sure. I think
You good with that?
yeah, I think that would be great.
Hey, thanks very much. I really enjoyed talking to you and seeing the progress. And you know, I've been jumping between platforms myself recently, and I really need to get to Gainium and also you know, take advantage of some of these features you're exploring. So I'll be there.
Sure. All right. Thank you very much for having me, and then we'll speak at soon.
And guys, if you like this interview, if you like this session, please give us a like, leave a comment below or a question, and we'll definitely do more of that. I'm sorry there was a technical issue in the beginning, so the first few minutes of the interview were cut off, and that's why I edited the whole track, but only the beginning was edited and the rest of the interview stayed unmodified. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.